Hello everybody, my name is Ryan, and in this lesson I'm going to be showing you a little bit about branches. So branch in Git is used when we need to create a new feature in our code. We don't want to interfere with stable code that's already working. So in this case we have the master branch, which gets created by default when you initialize your repository. So if we just type git branch and we press enter, we'll see a list of all our branches, and the only one I have is the master branch. So to create a new branch, we just type git branch and we give the branch a new name. So I'm going to call it new feature. And so now we have two branches. If I just run git branch, we'll see we have a master branch, which is the currently active branch, and then we have the new feature branch. We know it's the active branch because it's got a little asterisk next to it, and it's also in green. And also in brackets here we have our currently active branch. So when I did a new branch, I actually created a copy of master branch into new feature. So new feature's got exactly the same files and the same commits at this point that master has. It didn't physically copy files, it just copied a pointer to master. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to the new feature branch, and we do that by using the git checkout command. Now we used git checkout in the past with files, but then we added a double dash. Now we're going to remove the double dash and simply put the name of the branch that we want to check out. So now I've checked out the new feature branch. You can see in brackets I've got new feature, and if I just type git branch, you can see that new feature is the currently active branch. Now by checking out the branch, we actually replace the contents of our working directory with the files that are in that branch. At this point the branches are identical, so we're not going to see any difference. But let's go ahead and create a new file here. So I'll create a new file and I'll just call it new feature.txt, and then I'll just put some content in there, and I'll save my file and I'll close. And then maybe I'll just modify an existing file and then just put here updated on 9 December, 9 January actually, and then I'll just say some code for my new feature. Okay, let's close that and switch on back to doing a git status. Git status tells me that there's a new file and there's a modified file. So let me just add everything to make it quick and easy. And let's do a git status now and see that both of them are ready for staging, or committing should I say. They're both staged. So to commit those changes, I'm just going to do a commit, and I'm going to say add new feature. Obviously your commit message will need to be a lot more specific. So if I do a git log and I look at the last two entries, I have now got a brand new commit called add new feature. So now what I'm going to do is check out the master branch again. So check out master. So I'm going to replace the contents of the working directory with all the files that are currently in the latest commit of the master branch. Notice the new feature.txt file has disappeared, and if I now go and edit GUI.py, which I changed previously in the new feature branch, none of those changes are reflected here. But yet if I switch back to the new feature branch, check out new feature, once again I've got this new feature.txt file, and if I now go and edit the GUI.py file, my changes are back. There was my updated, there was my comment, and you can see how quick it does it, because it's basically only putting in the files that have changed. Okay, so that is how we create a new branch and how we check out the files from one branch into our working directory. So now the next thing is how do we create and check out a branch at the same time? So what we can do is, let me go back to the master branch, and let's say in the meantime somebody else is wanting to also work on a new feature separate from our new feature. So I'll just call it get, and now instead of saying get branch to create a new branch, we're going to just do a checkout immediately. But this time we're going to use the -b option, which will be used to create a new branch. And we're going to say, okay, let's call this thing a new heading. Okay, so now if I do a get branch, I notice that there are 3 branches and I'm currently in the new heading branch. But the new heading branch is actually a branch off of master. So it does not contain the code that we created in new feature. So let us do a get branch, and we just say -- merged. What that will do is it will tell us which branches have currently been merged into this branch. So I'm currently sitting in my new heading branch, and yet I'm not seeing the new feature branch, which that means that our new feature branch has not been merged into this branch. So in our next video, I'm going to show you how do we merge one branch into another branch. Before I do that, I want to just show you how do you spot the differences between branches. So we can just type get diff, the name of one branch and the name of another branch, and that will compare the one branch against the other and give you all the differences between the two. So we can just see that I have changed GUI.py and I've created a new file called newfeature.txt. So let's do a difference. Let's say give me the difference between master and new heading. Those should be the same. They are in fact the same, so there are no differences between the two. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video on branching.